Hello, friends. Namaskar. This is the 12th day of the coronavirus wellness talk that we are presenting to our esteemed friends, audience. So, hopefully, whatever knowledge that I'm sharing through these video talks, it's going to help you. And it's going to be stored for some time. So, obviously, when you get some time to reflect back on those values that we talk about from yoga and Vedanta, to remind us about different aspects of our own personal life, our own true nature, we definitely would be able to overcome any difficulties that comes in our life. And right now, of course, the most important aspect is to come out of this global pandemic as soon as possible so that life becomes more normal, kids start going to school, friends start meeting, family members start getting reunited. I know a lot of friends and families may be distantly staying because of the social distancing and the different kind of quarantine issues. So let's talk something positive today. I've been talking about different aspects of yoga, different aspects of the value of truth, the global harmony, love, forgiveness, many different aspects we are talking about, which are different concepts, how human beings nurture themselves towards a good spirit. So today we will talk about the pursuit of happiness. Today we'll talk about what is the concept of happiness, what is the goal of happiness, how we can become happy or how we can stay happy 24/7. So friends, keep your palms together, keep your eyes closed, try to set that intention in your heart, in your mind, that I am totally healthy, I am truly happy, and I am building up a strong immune system. Say it in a way that you convince yourself, just like you're telling something very powerful to yourself. You're communicating this goal to every cell in your body. 70 trillions of those are waiting for you right now to motivate them, to inspire them. Guess what? 70 trillions of cells, if they're awakened, no virus, no bacteria can ever threaten us. So keep that goal in mind, repeat them 3 times in your mind. Every time you practice something spiritual, something more intimate, think about your goal. Let's raise both the hands up. Keep your palms open, eyes closed, facing to the sky, the farthest sky. We'll chant 5 ohms to collectively download the cosmic energy into your individual life and also the lives of others around. So breathe in. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvisavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the universe protect us all. May the universe nourish us all. May this wellness talk be fruitful and enlightening. May there be no discord, no disharmony among anybody. May there be peace. Om, peace, peace, peace. So friends, welcome to this wellness talk. So today we'll talk about what is happiness and how to stay happy most of the time. One of the first important thing that we have to remember is to have a positive intent. That's why it has been so important for us to practice this goal setting, what we call a resolve, a sankalp. It reminds me of a story of someone like a woman in the village. She was never happy in her life. She had everything. She was a grandma, she had got beautiful kids, grandchildren, a lot of wealth, good house, good health. Everything was there, but she was not at all happy. And every time a sadhu or a sage or a spiritual teacher comes to the village, guess what? She'll be the first one in the line to ask or to get some special blessings, some spiritual power, some talisman or some kind of vibhuti, something something spectacular, something miraculous she was expecting to make her happy from within. And she tried everything, but not to make her happy. Everything she tried, but it was not a success for her. So one day it so happened that one smart sadhu, or a smart person, a well enlightened person comes to the village, and as usual, this woman will be the first one on the line to seek something important so that she could be happier in her life. And when she got a chance, she expressed her deeper concern that she has everything except happiness, and she's really looking for some kind of help so that she can become happier in her life. And obviously, because she had everything, none of the other people were not able to help her, because she had everything that a human being would desire in this life. But this person, this wise man, was very intelligent and also a little witty. So he said her, hey, this is the problem, that I can fix it just like that. I have been doing tapasya for long years, and particularly in the area of happiness, I've done a lot of research. I'll definitely make you happy. Just listen to me. It's a very simple technique that I'm going to give you. In fact, I have already prepared something for you. So he puts his hand in his bag and takes out 3 silver coins. And then ask her, these 3 silver coins are the magic bullets for you. He hold it. See, he put those silver coins in her hand, and he said to her that after 15 days, the Purnima or the full moon night is coming. So you have to take the silver coins, 3 silver coins, and then go to the end of the village where there is a big banyan tree. So you have to dig 1 foot on the ground and put these 3 coins there. That's all. So because these are all, mantra infested silver coins, so I have already done my tapasya on it. So the moment you plant them under that banyan tree, you say that you'll never become unhappy again. You'll be so happy. And this woman was so happy to get this simple technique from the sadhu, and then she was just rushing back to go to home. But just about she was to leave, the wise person called her one more time, and then he said it to her that, hey, I just forgot about one condition. Everything is fine. It's not that difficult. So you have to make sure that you follow this condition. So she asked, what is the condition? Tell me. So the condition is that while you are digging the ground and trying to put these 3 silver coins on the ground, make sure that you do not remember 3 things. 1, a 3-legged elephant. 2, a talking frog. And 3, a lame monkey. So you make sure that you do not remember 3 things: a 3-legged elephant, a talking frog, and a lame monkey. And she said, okay, sir, there is not a problem, that I have got 15 days to practice not to remember these 3 things. So she will start chanting, I'll not remember 3-legged elephant, I'll not remember a talking frog, I'll not remember a lame monkey. And she went on chanting for 15 days, not to remember these 3 things. And guess what? When on the full moon night, she went all prepared, the moment she started digging the hole on the ground, all she could remember is these 3 things: a 3-legged elephant, a talking frog, and a lame monkey. So what is the problem here? This is just a story, just to teach us a lesson. See, our subconscious mind doesn't really understand the negative connotations of any sentence. Like, say for example, if you see a child going towards fire, you don't say like, don't go. The child will not understand the don't part, and he will still go towards the fire. So the clear message should be stop, or come here, come back. So we have to give a very clear and positive message to our subconscious mind. Otherwise, it will not work. Like most of the time, people who come to our center, they say like, my goal is to lose weight. I said that's the wrong goal, because you might lose weight. First of all, losing weight is a negative connotation. The mind may not understand the lose part, and it will start stopping you more weight. And the second of all, like even if you lose weight, maybe because for some different problems, maybe there is a hyperthyroidism, or maybe there is some unknown disease because of which you lose 30-40 pounds in a month. That's not good. So you have to always package that with a good deal, like I'm totally healthy and I'm slim. These two packages is good because something positive. I'm totally healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and I'm slim. These are two positive goals. So likewise, in this case of the story, the woman was trying to remember not to remember these three things. So when you start not remembering, the not part will be omitted by the mind and it will remember. So probably the best guess could be, maybe she could have said like, hey, I will remember a horse, I'll remember a parrot, or I'll remember a cow, something like that. So that your subconscious mind will be understanding something positive and it will start programming like that. So you cannot reprogram your subconscious mind based on something negative. So having that positive intent is the first ingredient of how to stay happy. That means you must set that goal every day, starting from the day, beginning of the day, that I am truly happy. And true happiness is a very powerful mantra. True happiness means not conditioned to any things or beings, not conditioned to any relations or positions. It means true happiness, which is our true nature. There are a lot of studies going on about this concept of happiness right now. Of course, our sages have talked about for thousands of years, different Upanishads, different spiritual scriptures have mentioned about the secrets of happiness, many different ways. But let's talk about something that the modern psychology or the professors of the universities are talking about right now. For the last 20-30 years, it seems like there is a uptrend for modern psychology or the positive psychology, which is not just dealing with the problems of the human mind to fix it, what usually the psychiatrist or the psychologist used to do. But right now, just like the yogic psychology, the modern psychology also trying to focus on how to improve on the potential of the human mind. See, there is a problem and there is a possibility. I always teach my students that move towards a possibility. Do not think about the problem. So when you think about the problem, you'll hit another problem. But if you think about the possibility and move towards that, sky is the limit. So likewise, this modern psychology is talking about possibilities, like the power of happiness, the power of focus, the power of peace, the power of trust, forgiveness, all these different concepts, positive concept that is there for the human mind to nurture and nourish. The psychologists are also talking about that. So one of the noted professors, Professor Dr. Martin Seligman from UPenn, he has been doing fundamental research about this, and he talks about happiness, a factor of H equals happiness, is a factor of three things. He talks about the first thing is pleasure. As we talked about, the happiness is a concept of your sense organs. So most of the time, 99% of the time, we remaining in the body consciousness, we try to move towards something that gives us the pleasure. Either eating something to satisfy the tongue, or to seeing something to satisfy the eyes, or to touch something to satisfy the sense organs, or to hear something nice to satisfy the ears, or to smell something to satisfy our smell organs. So these are the different sensory perceptions that we try to find happiness. So the concept that they are telling, that any time that you try to find happiness to satisfy one of your sense organs, it will be limited in nature. For example, if you like ice cream, if I give you 1 scoop of ice cream, you'll become happy. If I give you 2 scoops, probably you'll be more happy. If I give you 3 scoops, they'll be more happier. But think about, like, if I continue to give you ice cream all the day, all the week, all the month, at some point of time you'll say like, no, I don't want any ice cream, I need something else, right? So there is always this concept of theory of marginal diminishing return in the economics. Like whenever you want to go in one path, at some point of time it will diminish, the return of investment will diminish. So likewise, at a simple level, at the same level, say for example the level of sensory pleasures, if you're trying to seek happiness for a long time, at some point of time it will bounce back. Instead of happiness, it will give you more an opposite reaction. It will feel boredom, you'll feel frustration, you'll feel vomiting sensation. So you won't get that happiness. And this particular thing holds good for all the things. Not just the ice cream. Ice cream is just a placeholder example. You think about anything and everything, wherever your sense organs are getting involved, at some point of time, you will have a negative impact. Of course, the cycle may be different, but the theorists are saying that any pleasure-driven happiness, H, the factor of P, is very short-lived. It can make addictions. Like if you like anything, you can get addicted to sugar, you can get addicted to smoking, you can get addicted to alcohol. So those are the kind of things that are very addictive in nature, very short-lived and very low quality of happiness. So that H equals the P factor. And after that, he talks about the H equals another factor called engagement. So he comes to the class and he tells his students, like, today we are not going to learn psychology in a conventional way. I will take you guys to a movie theater, and you watch the movie, and at the end of the movie, understanding how happy you were by watching that movie, you just give me a small rate card, like in a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest score of happiness and 1 being the lowest. You just tell me how happy were you by just watching the movie. And of course everybody enjoyed the movie, and then they gave his rate card, he collected all of them together, and then that was the first experiment he did. And then after 2 weeks he comes back again and then asks his students, like, today we'll do something more different. Not conventional way of studying psychology, not going to a movie theater, but I will take you guys to an organization who is dealing with people with poor families. Like there are a lot of children, so we will spend the rest of the afternoon with those children. So we'll probably take some toys and candies and blankets with us, and we'll spend the rest of the afternoon with them. And again, it's an experiment of happiness. So after the end of the day, when you are done with playing with the children, you also give me a rate card, 1:5, how happy you were. And of course everybody just enjoyed the rest of the afternoon. They went to that organization, played with the children, very much engaged into their activities, storytelling, candy distribution, playing with the toys. So they were really, really happy. And so they spelled out the rate card, and after 6 months the professor comes back again and does the third experiment. He says that, remembering the first experience that we did, remember, like 6 months ago I took you to a movie theater, so remember that experience right now, and with that experience that you can remember right now from that movie watching experience, now think about how happy are you in a scale of 1 to 5. And some of the students even don't remember the movie name, forget about the happiness. So it was very low. But again he reminded that, think about the next experiment we did. We went to that organization with poor children, and then now think about that experience and see how happy are you remembering that experience. See, after 6 months, and everybody gave 5 out of 5 because it was so fresh in their mind. The way they played with the children's happy smiley face, all those pictures they had taken. So everything was so much remembered as if it had happened yesterday. So now Professor concludes that this E factor of happiness is more engagement driven happiness, and is more sustainable. It is more qualitative, and it doesn't have that property of making you addicted to it. It's a good sattvic quality of happiness, more sublime quality of happiness, higher grade of happiness. Likewise, he gives an example of M. M is a meaning-driven happiness. Like something you do, like coming out of a good college, good university, instead of just pursuing the normal path of being a professional or engineer or a doctor, somebody might choose to do something spectacularly different. Something might, some example like maybe do an orphanage, or do a horticulture, do a floriculture, do a hospital, work something, go around the world, something that finds a meaning. What Mahatma Gandhi did, what Martin Luther King Jr. did, what Buddha did, what Rama, Krishna, and all the Mahapurush, all the great men have done this to find a deeper meaning into what they do. And the happiness coming out of those deeper meanings are more long lasting. It can last forever. It can last for years and years. So H equals P plus E plus M. Now, if you are doing something more meaningful, you don't have to really worry about the engagement or the pleasure part of it. It will automatically happen. So if you are doing something engagement-driven happiness, you don't have to talk about the pleasure aspect of it. It will automatically happen. The M includes P and E factor. And after that, some of his students, and then they worked on it, and then they corrected the formula. They came up with a new formula. It's called H equals PERMA, P-E-R-M-A. So P, not just pleasure, P means positive emotions, E means engagement, R stands for relationships, M stands for meaning, and A stands for achievements. So PH equals PERMA, positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievements in life. So friends, if you look at this one, this is very much analogous to something that our sages talked about in the Char Purushas. They call it this 4 paths of happiness, or 4 means of happiness. It's called Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. In that right order, that means Dharma is something that you do meaningful, almost analogous to that mapping tool, meaningful. Artha is something that you get engaged with your qualifications, whatever meaning that you, or whatever that you have learned about it. Artha, like finding more engagement. And P or Kama is the pleasure, right? So something meaningful, something with an altruistic motivation for the greater good of the mankind. If you do it, that will lead to moksha, the ultimate salvation, or the complete realization of yourself, or the ultimate return of investment. So if you do something which has more meaning, something engaging, and then pleasure will come out of it. But if you do the opposite way, something that is totally pleasure driven, only pleasure driven, just appeases your sense organs, then it's not going to last longer. It's going to have its own addiction. Right? So that's why there is a beautiful saying, just the word itself in English language is so powerful. Like if you just try to understand the whole concept that I'm telling right now, if you think about that, people say that do not do something for pleasure. Like do not eat something for pleasure, or do not play something for pleasure, do not do something for pleasure. Do everything in pleasure. There's a huge difference. Doing something for pleasure versus doing something in pleasure is a whole lot different. That means I'm doing some dishwashing, I'm washing my dishes. I'm not, of course, it's difficult to say that you're doing it for pleasure, but if you're doing it in pleasure, you'll enjoy that more. You're already finding a meaning for that. So give any example, like if you're studying not for pleasure, you're studying in pleasure. That means that will be more sattvic in quality. Automatically you'll find a meaning of why you're studying that, how you want to use that in the later part of your life, and how it is giving you a little bit more engagement because you're more focused, you're in love with what you're studying, and of course you'll get pleasure out of it. So when you try to think about that, when you do everything in pleasure, what our yogic wisdom also talks about the same concept called Yoga Rudha Kuru Karmani. This is what Lord Krishna talked to Arjun. Yoga Rudha Kuru Karmani. It's a very simple sentence. That means do everything by being in the state of yoga. And what is in the state of yoga? That means your body, your mind, your intelligence, your soul, your spirit, everything is one direction. They are all aligned. Remember that cart example I gave? The soul is sitting in the back seat. The intelligence is the driver. The mind is the rein through the horses and all the sense organs. And then the cart has to be on the path of different objects in the objective world. So if there is a proper hierarchy, the soul gives the direction to the intelligence gives the direction to the mind controls the sense organs, and the sense organs control the body or the horses, and then that goes in the beautiful path of life, then it brings more success. So likewise, so if you try to find out the right approach, right mindset, right tools and techniques to orient yourself towards the goal of true happiness, of course you'll become more happier. One of the other thing is to think about, how this meditation is so handy. Because the true nature of our mind is to be happy. But whenever it's disturbed because of different thoughts coming in, it's like a lake. When you start throwing different stones into it, of course it will create a lot of ripples. So whenever there is a thought that is created in our mind, it creates different waves. A lot of these waves. And sometimes there's so much of desire, so much of thoughts, it almost looks like a hurricane, a stormy ocean. So our goal of meditation is to calm the mind and clear the mind. So when the mind is calm from all the different waves or vrittis, or different pratyayas, or the thoughts in the vrittis, or mental modifications, and different thoughts are getting formed inside. These are all technical terms, pratyayas and vrittis. So vritti are the mental modifications because of some desires. So if you can slow down, or if you can cut down the number of these vrittis in your mind by doing a simple meditation every day for 5 minutes. I call it in my class like take a break, because when you go on a long tour, like you have to take breaks, bio break, food break, gas break, right? So our body is also a cosmic vehicle. So if you look at the earth itself is moving around the sun 70,000 miles per hour. That means every 3 hours your body has moved 200,000 miles into the space. So now that's the perfect time to take a break. Just like a bio break, just like a gas break, you must take a little break for 5 minutes to do a fuel change or refuel yourself with some spirit. So fill up your spirit tank with a little bit of calmness. Make sure that all those vrittis are a little bit nullified, they're just leveled up, so that a little bit more clarity has happened, so you can see through the bottom of the lake, which brings that clarity, which brings that little connection with your true awareness, deeper consciousness, the Brahman, the substratum on which your mind is trading, or the mind is nourished with that substratum of knowledge, that infinite intelligence. So when you take a moment of 5 minutes to take a holy dip on that substratum of consciousness, that is the main source. Automatically the mind will be calm and stable, and the happiness is a natural byproduct of this calmness. So your mind is calm and peaceful just within 5 minutes. You think about, within 5 minutes every 3 hours, if you just spend a little time, close your eyes, just try to connect to your true self. That is why this meditation that I have been leading in this series of talks is so powerful. I've been doing myself. Every 1 hour I take a break, 5 minutes. Close my eyes wherever you can, and just think about your heart center. Think about Prana Shakti as the source of ultimate happiness, the source of unconditional love, anything and everything. That's a beautiful X factor. Like, you kept that, hey, Prana Shakti is the code word for everything I am looking for in my life. So that's the condition that you have agreed upon to talk about. That's your mantra. So you think about Prana Shakti in your mind. When you breathe in 5 times Prana Shakti, and when you breathe out 5 times Prana Shakti, so the heart will be purified. When the heart purifies the blood through the oxygenation process, and if you blend this concept of Prana Shakti in the name of true happiness, automatically the blood flow will move to every cell, every tissue in your body, and naturally every cell will be more happier. You can visualize that every cell in your body is like a smiley face. They're beautiful, they're vibrant, they're happy. So when you do that 5 minutes of refueling yourself with the spirit of happiness, I guess the whole day will go smoothly. Many times you just try it out. Like, I've tried many times. Sometimes depression sets in, sometimes anxiety comes in, sometimes panic will settle in. That's the nature of the mind. That's the nature of the wave. The wave has to have, ocean has to have waves. You cannot have an ocean without any waves. Otherwise you won't call it an ocean, right? So likewise, the life has to have ups and downs. You can't go to a theme park without taking a ride of something. Then, there's no fun, right? So you have to understand that life is always like a roller coaster. You have to find pleasure in that. The mind loves it. The soul adventures it. So that's the nature of our life. So all you have to do is take 5 minutes break. Just like, I call it a divine break. For 5 minutes, connect to yourself, calm down your mind, have some clarity of your thought. Automatically you'll see that all depression will go out, all the thoughts and stress and worries will go out. And the scientific studies have revealed that if you become more happier, it will also boost your immune system. So in the today's context, when we are talking about coronavirus pandemic, we have committed ourselves to be totally healthy, truly happy, and then boost our immune system so that we can fight with this disease. So naturally, happiness is also another way to boost the immune system and seek the other aspects of our goal, true happiness and total health. So friends, let's bring our palms together. Let's take a moment of meditation, taking a break from our hectic life, from the rat race. Of course, the coronavirus has given us an opportunity to take a longer break right now. So let's be grateful for that. So yesterday we talked about the beautiful power of forgiveness. So let's think about what is happening is good for the mankind. It's a good break that we all deserve. We all need it. And think about Prana Shakti in your heart as the source of true happiness. And as you breathe in, chant 5 times in your mind. And as you breathe out, repeat that 5 times in your mind. And just stay there for 1 minute. Notice your mind is so calm right now, and this calm mind, this peaceful mind, this serene mind, the clear mind is the source of all happiness. We don't have to look out for anything, for pleasure. We have to do everything in pleasure, and that in pleasure concept is about mind. When we be in touch with our true self, the happiness is automatically there, and everything we do, everything we get engaged in life, there will be always meaning behind it. So let's complete this beautiful meditation with a peace prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death and disease to immortality. Om, peace, peace.